Watching CBS 8 mornings at 6.
Good morning to you here on this Friday. Made it to the end of the week, everyone. It is 6 a.m. I'm Eric Connert.
And I'm Chris Groh in for Netta Iranpour. And as we said, that weekend forecast, a lot of people have their eyes on it. We had to turn the AC on yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
We just
cranking. I think
it's
for
been
a lot
pretty
of folks.
steady for me.
Yeah.
I feel like I give myself like a half hour, an hour.
Yeah, we
where I'm
try.
like, just blast it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Keep all the windows and doors closed. And then every night, I really try to just keep all the windows open.
But it's been hard to now. The overnight, it's
70 degrees overnight.
Yeah, it's not that cool.
No, we're not getting a lot of relief. That's the downside here. That's kind of the part of the heat wave that we don't really talk a lot about, is that, sure, the afternoons, I mean, they're hot. We know what summer is like across San Diego County, but overnight, we just don't get that relief that we're looking for. We right now are mostly in the upper 60s and low 70s. By the afternoon, we'll make it to 80 out along our coastline, 94 inland. Look at that 15-degree jump in temperatures as you leave the coast and make your way east to the 805, east to the 15, 100 across our mountains, and 112 on our local deserts. A couple records that we broke yesterday, tying a record from 1969 up at Palomar Mountain. That is just wild to see. 93 was yesterday's high. Lake Cuyamaca made it to 96, and Campo made it to 106. Coming up, we'll be talking about that rise in monsoonal moisture across the county. A reminder that the county has dozens of cool zones. Those are locations that offer free air conditioning to you. They include libraries and community centers. We have a full list of those locations on our website, cbs8.com. Click on the help button there, and it has all the info on how to stay cool for free with this heat. And also a reminder, for the latest weather conditions and alerts on the go, you can download our free CBS 8 app from the Google Play or Apple App Store. We push those notifications based on your location, so we can get them straight to you depending on where you're at to get all that vital information as far as how hot those temperatures are getting. Back to you.
Right to our top story now. In just a couple of hours here, Lyle Menendez will argue his case for parole 30 years after he and his brother Eric were sentenced for killing their parents.
A lot of attention being paid to this one. Today's hearing comes just one day after a California board denied Eric's request to get out of prison. Our CBS 8's Regina Rita has been live outside Donovan State Prison yesterday. She's back at Otay Mesa today, and this will be a similar virtual hearing today, right, Regina?
Yeah, that's correct, and it could probably last just as long as it lasted yesterday. It was more than 9 hours until we heard a decision that could be very similar to what we're expecting today. But today, the focus is on Lyle Menendez, and so he is going to be introducing his testimony, and we'll know really what decision and evidence is presented today. But again, after 9 hours of testimony yesterday, it took the board just minutes to reject Eric Menendez's bid for parole. They cited burglaries that happened before the murders. They also focused on his behavior while serving time. The board included allegations that Eric engaged with a prison gang, smuggled drugs, and used illegal cell phones while incarcerated. Now, in 1996, the brothers were sentenced to life in prison for fatally shooting their parents in their Beverly Hills mansion. While defense attorneys argue that the brothers acted out of self-defense after years of sexual abuse by their father, prosecutors say the brothers sought out a multi-million-dollar inheritance. Yesterday, the panel asked Eric details for murdering his parents, questions like why he and Lyle used a fake ID to purchase the guns they used. They asked who acted first and why did they kill their mother if their father was the alleged main abuser. Now, the Los Angeles County District Attorney has remained vocal about his opposition to their petition for a new trial, while Governor Gavin Newsom says his final decision will be based on facts. So I first want you to hear from the Los Angeles County District Attorney, then Governor Gavin Newsom.
When they do come fully clean, I believe that the parole board should very well consider them as eligible for parole.
I have not watched anything that has come out on the Menendez brothers, and I very intentionally avoided that in expectation and anticipation that this might land on my desk.
Now, again, today that hearing will start at 8:30 this morning. We're focused on Lyle and focused on any updates that we might get even before, during, or after the testimony that he will be introducing, or at least presenting before the board. So we'll keep you guys updated with more details. But for now, I'll send it back to you.
All right, Regina, thanks for that. Today, the man accused of stabbing a woman to death inside her National City home is set to face a judge for the first time. This happened Wednesday afternoon on Division Street. Police say when the husband found his wife, another man was in the home and ran away when officers arrived. We're told officers did chase that suspect, identified as Noel Trevino, to 1st Street, and they arrested him. Trevino is set to appear in court at 1:30 this afternoon. This morning, we are learning a man riding an electric motorcycle died in Escondido yesterday afternoon. Escondido police say the man led officers on a chase and crashed into a police car. It happened on the bike path along the flood control channel that runs east and west between Valley Parkway and Washington Avenue. Per protocol, the Oceanside Police Department now investigating this. They're investigating this deadly crash. We'll keep you posted on any new details.
Now we have an update on a story that we've been following out of the North County. Medical examiner's office confirmed the remains found on a property in Valley Center belonged to a foster mother last seen in 2023 by her loved ones. Last month, investigators with the San Diego Sheriff's Office served a search warrant at a property on Oak Creek Road. Detectives conducted a search operation for Nadine Jett. That search resulted in discovering skeletal remains buried on the property. Nadine had fostered identical quadruplets.
My sisters and I were all crying, devastated, but it's closure. Like, we finally got the closure we needed, but it's still going to be a fight, to find out who did this and why did they do it.
A fifth foster child named Charles Von Ferdinand was caring for Jett and told her foster daughters she died in Mexico and he had her body cremated there. They claimed Ferdinand isolated Jett and wouldn't let them visit. No one has been charged, though, as detectives with the sheriff's office continue to work the leads.
And a big update to share with you this morning. Yesterday, state lawmakers in Sacramento approved a contentious plan to redraw California's congressional map. This vote by the state Senate and Assembly here in California comes as the Texas state legislature passes a Republican-favored congressional map at the request of President Trump. While Governor Newsom immediately signed these new bills, which would reconfigure 5 congressional districts to favor Democrats, California's voters will have the final say.
Funding what occurred in Texas, we're neutralizing what occurred, and we're giving the American people a fair chance.
This is a scam by politicians trying to seize the power back from the people.
California voters will make the ultimate decision on the redistricting proposal when they vote on Prop 50 on November 4th. And the public might soon have access to unreleased files related to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The Justice Department is set to start releasing them to the House Oversight Committee today. That's according to the committee's chair, Representative James Comer, you see there. He says the panel will check the redactions and then make the files public.
Right now, evacuation orders are in effect for people who live in Calistoga, which is in Napa County. The so-called picket fire broke out yesterday. It's burned more than 2,100 acres, and last check this morning, it is 0% contained. Fortunately, no injuries have been reported. Yeah, high fire danger out there because it is hot. It has been dry. We haven't had a lot of moisture falling from the sky. We may have some moisture that you can feel as far as the humidity is concerned. Does that help the fire danger at all?
The thing is, as we go into the weekend, we'll also see a possibility of not only humidity, but some showers. Along with those showers comes a risk of some thunderstorms. And yeah, then we're right back where we started, which is that a thunderstorm can easily spark a new fire. So we're happy to see that rise in humidity. That helps alleviate the dryness out there a little bit. But the thing is, all it takes is one stray bolt of lightning to what is very dry brush. And if it doesn't come alongside plenty of rain, then that can start a new fire. So we have that concern pretty high. We're starting off the morning with fog across our coastline. That's been typical of the last several mornings. We're going to be watching over the next many mornings for that fog to congregate out along the coastline. And then by about mid-morning, we transition to plenty of sunshine. We've broken some records out there. We did so yesterday. Right now, visibility is reduced out along the immediate coastline. But once that fog really starts to peel its way back and we transition to more and more sunshine, I mean, it's a quick transition. So it really doesn't seem to pose much of a threat, this fog, in the morning hours. 2.5 miles of visibility in Oceanside, about 2 miles down at Brownfield. Kearney Mesa's at 4 miles. Another live look outside shows you Mount Woodson. Sunrise looking great. 6:17 is technically sunrise, so still about 8 minutes away, and then sunset coming at 7:25 or so. Ramona made it to 99 degrees yesterday. Really all week long we've been in the above average range, but we've still kept climbing. Monday we were 1 degree warmer than average, then 2, then about 6, now 8. There's a possibility that we hit 100 this afternoon, although all models pretty much keep us at the same range, 99 or so this afternoon. Santee and El Cajon are going for 94 today. La Mesa 88, San Ysidro going for a high of 85 degrees. San Diego, 82. Looking up the coast to North County, we've got Carlsbad shooting for 80 this afternoon, Vista 88, Escondido and Poway 93 on that forecast high, and there it is, Ramona again going for 99. Our rain chances, this is what we're talking about with that monsoonal moisture, not necessarily something widespread or drenching, instead a rise in humidity, moisture drifting in from the southeast of us, and the possibility that some of those cumulus clouds that develop over the mountains form into a quick moving shower, or yes, a possibility of a thunderstorm or two popping up. Not a guarantee like we mentioned, but still those chances lie at about 17% all the way up to 34% going into the beginning and middle of next week. Let's send things over to Vanessa Paz checking in on traffic. A very foggy start to the morning out there.
Yeah, we have some of these cars on the 5 Genesee disappearing into those low-level clouds. That's that northbound drive, by the way, right side of your screen. This is the southbound drive as you make your way toward that Genesee Avenue exit. All right, let's go ahead and switch gears and see what else is happening as we go ahead and switch cameras here. This is the 5 right at East Street. So this is in the South Bay. This is the drive headed towards the 54. In fact, that's the freeway you could see right there. We are dealing with a 2-car crash. This is on the 76 right at Paula Casino. And then we have another one a little more south, middle of the Golden Triangle, and that's right at La Jolla Village Drive. Reports of a hit-and-run crash. Neither of those are causing too much slowing this morning. In fact, for the most part, it's looking like Friday light out there as we take you over to the North County and from Oceanside as well as Escondido. Average speeds anywhere between 70 miles per hour or so. A little bit of brake tapping up the summit coming in from Santee on the 52 West, making your way down towards Tierra Santa, but nothing that'll set you back too much in terms of overall drive times. And about 70 mile per hour speeds coming inbound from La Mesa as well as Grossmont. If you're traveling out of Chula Vista National City this morning, the 5 and the 805 are in pretty good shape at last check. As we pull up travel times, 10 to about 15 minutes on the 5 and the 805 coming in from San Ysidro as well as the National City area. Full span of the Coronado Bridge downtown to the toll booths are going to take about 3 minutes or so. And if you're traveling westbound, either on the 94, the 8, as well as the 52, you're averaging about 5 to 8 minutes.